a lot of the debate in business schools, there's the practical versus theoretical approach, but I don't think that's the big issue. I think the issue in business school education is about what kind of managers are we developing, and a lot of that is about this model of an expat manager. That these expats go everywhere with their company and they know the category, or you have local managers, so it's local or expats. But I think that's also an old debate because that's changing very rapidly, and I think what we got is a new kind of manager that's going to evolve, which I call a transnational manager. It's somebody who's probably from smaller markets because they're easier. If you're from a smaller market, it's easy to get outside your skin and think about multiple markets. And I think the Romanian managers of the future, the Hungarian managers of the future, Bulgarian, etc., are going to be more astute about how they look at the business. And they're going to think about how they look at the business relative to the political context, the social context, the environmental context. They're going to be able to drop into a marketplace and handle a lot of different issues a lot faster than a typical expat or a local would. And that's what we got to develop, those kind of people. It's hard to do that from an education standpoint, but that's our challenge. There's really two ways you can look at getting an MBA. And whether you're an employer or a company. And I think a lot of people go get an MBA for the wrong reasons, and I think a lot of people, their companies, ask their people to get MBAs for the wrong reason. What I mean by that, if you think you got to get an MBA to get your box checked, if you got to get an MBA, you got to put on your resume, and away you'll go, and that's how you're going to go approach your MBA. I think that's the wrong way to do it. And I think that that'd be a bad idea. You're not going to help our school if that's the reason you're coming to do it. There's another way to look at it. It says, I'm going to go get an MBA, and I'm going to be incredibly curious. You're wanting a step change in your career. And maybe you're in marketing, maybe you're in logistics, maybe you're in HR, maybe you're in finance. But if you go with the right attitude to get your MBA, you're going to learn. If you're a marketing guy, you're going to learn about finance. But you got to be curious about finance. If you go in there saying, well, I'm going to go in there and get my box checked, and I got to sit for this damn finance class. Tomorrow I go back to my real job in marketing, but I'll put up with the finance class, I'll put up with the stat class, and then I go back and do my marketing job. But I get an MBA. Wrong idea. Look at the finance class and say, what do I take from finance into marketing? What do I take to HR into marketing? And then you got something pretty interesting. Brabeck, the head of Nestle, said something very interesting. He said, we need to embed marketing into the business. And all the marketing guys like me go, yeah, that's right, absolutely. Should have been that way all along. That's the growth engine. It's all about marketing. And he goes, yeah, but wait a minute. We also need to embed business into the marketing. And the marketing guys, well, what's he mean? That means we're not about awareness. We're not about key business indicators like youthfulness and all these other things that marketing talk about. What Brabeck says, I want to know what you're spending your marketing money on, that you're getting a return on investment. You got to be business guys. And that's very important. It made a lot of marketing guys very nervous, but marketing guys should be business guys. And the HR people should be marketing. I saw an HR person from TCOM last year, and she took a lot out. She took the marketing classes, and she took the finance classes. She said, what we're really talking about inside the organization is different types of people, and they have a motivational architecture to it. What motivates them about their job? There's cost of entry, there's differentiation, and then there's a crucial experience about the job. Much like she learned in marketing, that's exactly what a brand is. As cost of entry, you'll see it in my presentation in a minute. Cost of entry, differentiation, crucial experience. But isn't the job that way? Shouldn't we start selling the job in a way? Shouldn't we start thinking about what motivates people inside the company and motivate them that way by understanding what's important to them? Much like we try to do as customers, we understand what's important to customers and motivate them to buy our product. So that's how an HR person can learn a lot from marketing and so forth. So I think that's the right reason you should approach the MBA. Now, companies also get it wrong. If you're a company, you're saying, because I ran Coke for a long time in the region, and some of us would look at MBAs, we say, well, we got to give the guy an MBA. Because we give him an MBA, we'll sign a contract saying he got to stay at the company for 4 years, or he's got to pay the MBA back. And so we locked him up for 4 years. They call that indentured servitude, white slavery, whatever you want to call it. I think that's the wrong way to look at it. Your company might do that, but that's not really the right mindset. That might be a business way of looking at it, or a return on investment, or whatever. But you really should be thinking, if I get this manager, and he's a bright guy, and he's going to get his MBA because he wants to expand his mind. He wants to learn more about what's going on. He's very curious about other disciplines. He really wants to do a step change. He wants to get ready to lead an organization. Well, if I give this guy an MBA, he's going to be better. And I don't keep him because I got a contract with him that he got to stay for 4 or 5 years. I keep him because I keep challenging him. I keep giving him growth opportunities. That's how you keep somebody in an organization, not because he's got to. The teachers, we have the same mentality. We have a attendance policy. I always thought the attendance policy, I gotta watch out because I'm the dean here, and I'm talking about as a marketing professor, but I never take roll in my class. I haven't done it for 25 years. Because my only way to get you to come to class is to keep attendance. Shame on me. If the only reason you're in my class because, well, you're gonna dock me and I'm gonna get a bad grade, I should make it interesting for you to come to class. If I don't give you enough in the class that you're in now that you don't want to come to the next class, there's something wrong with what I'm doing. I'm not stimulating your curiosity. I'm not making it interesting to you. So rather than rely on some kind of an artificial contract, like an attendance policy to get you to class, I should be doing it by trying to motivate you, by encouraging you, by stimulating your curiosity. And that's what management should be doing instead of worrying about how long you're there. So that's what I think the business education is about. That's why I think you should be thinking about CEU. Now, the challenge, does this thing come up somehow? Oh, memory stick, do I have it? This would be the memory stick. Just don't open up Paul's picks, right? Anyway, it's a joke. In thinking about, is it pulling up there somehow? In thinking about the business education, that puts a lot of pressure on us, because if we say you're going to come with all this curiosity and we want you to be really motivated and learn lots of stuff, wow, we've got to deliver. And we've got to be really thinking about what we're going to do to fulfill that. Because we've made a promise that if you come to CEU with your mind open, we're going to teach you and motivate you and get you excited about finance. We're going to get you excited about statistics. In fact, one of our best professors at CEU happens to teach statistics, which I think is amazing. Anybody who can make statistics exciting, I think is pretty damn good. But that's the kind of people we're getting. So it's a challenge for us to make sure we deliver on that. But as dean, that's what I'm thinking about when I have conversations like Adrian today and Tom and other people in the faculty. We're constantly thinking about what can we do to make this more interesting, to make it more, to better prepare you guys to be leaders.